All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out. I really appreciate it. Showing the love of support for Maríasol. Are we recording now, girl? Yes, we're recording. Okay. So why are we recording? Well, there's been a few people who couldn't make it. My sister's husband stuck out in Saudi Arabia right now, serving our forces out there. So I want to send him along with a few other college friends that couldn't make it out here today from out of town. So please interrupt me as we go forward. I've just got a handful of pictures and funny stories. So I know a lot of you out there know some parts of these, but Marcus, let's go ahead to the next slide. So I'm going to have to start from when I met her. So that's my brother-in-law wants to come up and talk more about her early life. We started dating in November of 1995. So almost 29 years that we were either dating or married. Some of the early pictures of us in high school proms, dances, best friend Max, who's on the bottom left corner, that one, set us up years ago in high school. We continued through there. And then let's go to the next. So from there, we tried to go to the same college, but we were not actually in the same high school class. Despite being 2 months apart, we were actually in different high school years. So that didn't work out either. So we spent years commuting, her at Yale, me at Johns Hopkins, going back and forth from each other. One of the things that Annalise asked me to talk about, reluctantly.
I asked once.
Once. You asked what? Okay, so I think several of you have seen the posts I've written on Carrion Bridge over the time. You know, as an engineer, I'm not a good writer. It takes me a lot of effort. But they're asking how we actually got engaged. So it was at the end of her high school. She was heading off to Yale. I was trying to decide what to do. You know, will this long-distance relationship work for years and years and years? And I'm sitting in this hotel room in Vancouver, family vacation, and I end up writing her a letter. And just starting off on a letter, we're on a trip, and ending up at the end, will you marry me? So, much like it ended up in writing, just like it started. So, that moved on to us in college. So, dances, cruises, all the fun activities there in college. And then we can go on to the next slide, because I don't think we have anybody from college here. So I'm going to do my best to remember what she did in college. First couple pictures of us, but these are some of her other friends in college, most of which who aren't able to come here today. Her friends from her residential colleges, all the parties they attended. The center one, Yale-Harvard game was a big thing for those Yale students. Carrying the flag for that one. Parties, some of her other friends as well. Along with her favorite shirt when she was there in college, with her Harvard Sucks shirt. So, let's go on. All right. So, one of the things that many people didn't know about her is she had an amazing alcohol tolerance. Absolutely amazing. I'm showing here. In fact, anybody wants, I've still got a bottle of that Goldschlager that been sitting there for I don't know how long. If anybody wants to have that, but that was their go-to thing in college, was this bottle of Goldschlager. She drunk her friends under the table. She came down to visit me at Johns Hopkins, drunk the rugby teams under the table. In fact, there are other people here that tried afterwards to get her drunk, I don't know, about 10, 15 years ago, and some of them are actually here, drunk all them under the table. No one has ever been able to keep up with her. So, she does not brag about it in front of mom and dad. So, no one was ever able to keep up with her. In fact, they were out here about a mile and a half. They were out there drinking. I think she had 15, 18 shots. If someone wants to correct me from that, she was finally tipsy. By the time I drove her back to the house here, she was sober. So, all right, next slide. So after college, we got married. Pictures of us there. We got married down in El Pinto. Started our journey together there, and then if we go to the next slide, hit one of her favorite places, and the favorite places down in Cancun and Chichen Itza was where we honeymooned. Great story about this one. So we were supposed to visit Chichen Itza. We go to get tickets for this, and so I'm going up there, and the salespeople come up to me, coming up and say, do you speak any Spanish? No, I speak no Spanish. So we're working through the deal of tickets for go up to visit on that, and of course, I'm just out of college with not really a lot of money, and we're trying to get the value package and get over there. Well, meanwhile, the lady's sitting there selling us this, talking to her friends, and I can't remember the exact words, but in Spanish, she said, "My butt hurts." And all of a sudden, Sol starts breaking out laughing. So by the time we're out of there, we paid for the cheap price and got the luxury coach suburban ride. Hardly anyone out there because all those big buses left before we got there. So, yeah. Okay. Moving forward. So then it was just the two of us. And little dogs. So she had a fear of dogs, but she wanted to get over that fear. So first dog here was Amber here. That was her little tiny King Keller Charles Spaniel. Also, where she started medical school out here as well at her first white coat ceremony. Let's see. You guys, feel free to interrupt me and add stories, because, okay. And this was us for the first couple of years. All right, next slide. So that little dog got her into the Great Dane. The Great Dane. And the rather unfortunate name of Isis that we had for her about 2 years before somewhere else in the world decided that would be a great name for them. But yes, got her past her fear into the biggest dog you could possibly have. That dog ate tabletops. Forget the legs. That dog is chewing on the tabletops. All right. The next slide. So from then came some hard decisions, and I think it'll show some of her personality going forward. It was always about family first. So about midway through medical school, we've been talking about cancer a whole lot more than I ever wanted to. But the first thing she had was endometriosis, which can kill your fertility. So they said, "Do you want kids now or not at all?" We said, "Yes, we'll have them now." So Annalise, oldest daughter here, pictures of her. Then we started following more stereotypical roles, because we were actually out at my grandmother-in-law's out there, and she got a great kick out of this photo. She's like, "Okay, so I'm barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. How did we get here?" So, all right. So then it was all about family from then on. So her family out in Vegas, family here, her brother, all of our extended family as we continued to grow and grow. And next slide, Marcus. Which brings us to Angela. That I lost again. So around here somewhere. Angela on your left side, Isa in the middle, and Eva on the right. So, yeah, we kind of went and said, if I just have one thing in the world, I want 4 healthy children. Man, I did not ask for enough. So, thank you, girls. So it became all about family from there on. Some of her good Christmas cards here, her ideas that we need to stack each other on top, and our second round of dogs here with Prince in the bottom left and Duchess in the right, who is still around here somewhere. Yes, and her crazy ideas of what we can actually take pictures of, because somebody did it on, well, it would have been Facebook then, but all right, Marcus, next slide. I put this one in. Really doesn't fit along with her, but this was one of her favorite photos. I had this blown up as part of a collection, the package, when Ona hit 18, kind of printed every photo across her life, and she's like, "I'm so glad you picked that. It's my favorite photo ever." This came from our trip out to, we went out to my sister's graduation. This is in St. Louis somewhere. I couldn't even tell you where this place is anymore. Thank you. The West End, like I knew where that is.
By the medical campus.
Awesome.
Largest outdoor chessboard in the world or something. And there's the Office Chess and Checker Hall of Fame. No, largest. Do you have the piece in there? There's the largest chess piece in the world right next to this.
Sorry, this is the photo I found.
So we went out there and played.
Soul loved chess. Ona played chess. Eva plays chess sometimes. But yes, just the girls playing at a giant outdoor mall. So thought I'd share that one from her. Okay. All right, so then it moved into kind of the outdoor phase as the kids grew up. Always doing stuff outdoors, always taking pictures. Let's go on. All right, then came, that was kind of out of order. So then came the homeschool group. So many of you are here now. So towards the end of Ona's elementary school, part of it, Ona's elementary school, the other kids' elementary school, she homeschooled all the children through that. Even on days when she probably shouldn't have. So, I can remember all the fights and effort and all the love she put in to make sure you guys got through that before you guys moved on to middle school and high school where someone else taught you. So, all right. Ladies back there, you guys want to come up? I mean, you guys were a part of this because I just got the pictures. No. All right. Okay. Other thing was the outdoors. So if you're going to find pictures of her, you're almost going to find her outdoors, whether it's hiking with a family. Top right is from 2012 when she was first going through chemo, and we were coming back through the botanical gardens and taking photos of them playing through the leaves. It's one of the great photos we had over the years of her. Bottom left, hiking through Gray's Peak, which is one of the 14,000 footers up in Colorado, which she enjoyed conquering those, and just other times outdoors in general, which is why we live out here, because you can walk outside and go hike. All right. And that was not just the family. That is our extended family on her friends who are all back over there, who are not going to tell any stories, huh? Yeah, man. So always outdoors, always hiking, snowshoeing. I think that's up on the crest. Hiking through their trips as well. That was always part of what she was out there doing as well. All right. And then it came running. Then towards, she's like, well, if I'm in better shape, I will do better. So I'm going to run. I'm going to run a lot. So running half marathons, running through here. Chrissy, who's in the back over there, was her running buddy for years and years and years here. All her different pictures as you go through. She actually had some running channels, YouTube channels, stuff like that, just to share her love of that as well. All right. Okay, so when we actually got into her phone after much chagrin of who actually knew her passcode, I could not believe the number of selfies she took. I mean, my gosh, this is just a sample of the ones we found. As she went through cancer and her hair would change with each medicine they put her on, came all these photos of the different hair days. Bad hair days, good hair days, funny faces. Always see a smile on her face. All right. Really, no one's going to come up? Okay.
Well, you can go back the one, they're not going to come up, but I just want to point out, yeah, she would send me and my mom these pictures, and they were always kind of a hoot, because she'd have some sort of funny thing going on with her hair, and she'd send it to us. And, yeah, the one on the second from the top on the far left, that's her Einstein face. Yeah, that one there. That's her impression of Einstein. She saw her hair, she thought it might look just like Einstein, so she made exactly the right face. Yeah, no, I mean, she was always spot on, and then, yeah, diagonal candy corner down is her punk rock face. But yeah, anytime she had something interesting with her hair, she'd send me and my mom a picture that what was going on with it that day.
Literally hundreds of these on her phone.
She didn't text us for every one of those. She did send a few that, I guess, especially a few that stood out to her.
Okay. So, our grand adventure, I don't know where the poster went of this, but we have a grand poster. We built the bus behind you. That bus was a school bus in 2021. Or maybe it was 2020. Yeah, 2020, our pandemic project. So she had seen on YouTube that, hey, you can just take this bus, you can gut it, you can go out, and you can drive across the country. Well, I mean, before that, I started with, let's drive across the country because, let's go see colleges. I can get out. I can have my little bubble around me. And we started looking at Sprinter vans and other things. And we finally settled on converting to bus because it costs less. We spent 9 months converting. No, that wasn't 9 months. That was 6 months. We built that bus in 6 months, using every spare ounce of everybody's time for 6 months. So lots of good stories on that one. Family had a really great time together. She got her favorite sweatshirt up there. Some of the obituary photos you saw about that. We took that bus. We left here. We drove all the way to upstate New York and all the way back. So, and when I say we, I meant she drove. She drove all the way around. In fact, the only time I've driven the bus was when we bought it from Hope Christian, and I drove it here. After that, it was all her. One of the things about our relationship is she was always the one driving. She loved to drive everywhere and anywhere. I was always the one who was navigating. So all those thousands of miles, and I'm the one trying to figure out how to get a bus in whatever parking lot or wherever space we wanted to get it, and she's the one driving this gigantic 35-foot vehicle like she's a pro. So.
Do you need a CDL to drive that?
No. At least not in New Mexico, and I didn't ask in every other state, and I didn't want to.
Heck, if you get pulled over, you don't even need a license.
You don't need tags either.
Yes.
You don't get caught.
But if you guys ever go in there, she and Ona framed the entire inside of that. Built all the beds, did all the framing. I got to do the less fun stuff. The plumbing, electrical, put the seats in. You did. True. But yeah, the kids helped as they could, but they had this thing called school that they were expected to actually go to.
Yeah, you got the bus for it.
I got the bus for the school. So, but, yes. Okay. I had another story there, and I don't have it in my head anymore. Okay. I don't know. I'm rambling anyway, so I was hoping someone would interrupt me and gather my thoughts. Okay, Marcus, next slide.
Angela did all the soldering.
Yes. Angela, so, yes. I bought all the electrical components and gave them to Angela and a little map and said, here's how they're supposed to go together, and she put them all together. So if you go inside there, every little light is soldered by her, every little thing behind, and underneath the whole bus where all the electronics come together, she did all that. So, yes. Much like today, I spent my time scattered between different people doing different things and trying to help out everywhere. Let's see. Yeah. Both a good class and a good life experience for all you guys. So, yes. So she's also our photographer for the family. Every dance, she would go out and take pictures of all the girls as they go forward in their all their activities. So, the girls might have stories about these. I don't know. I'm usually not there.
I actually have a story.
You got a story? Good. Thank you. Finally some relief.
So, my mom loved taking photos of me and my friends, and the first time that my friends ever met my mom, they asked me, what should I call your mom? And I said, I don't know. So I turned around and she was like dropping us off at Target after exams, and I said, hey, like, what do you want my friends to call you? And she goes, I don't know, Queen Mother. And she said it jokingly, but it stuck. So all of my friends still call her Queen Mother. And just a few weeks ago, one of my friends from high school texted me and was like, hey, I'm so sorry about your mom. Like, I'll remember Queen Mother and love her forever. And I just thought that was funny. And that picture in the bottom is of me and my mom, and my friend Elena. She was like, she paused and she made us stop and take that picture, and she was like, I think you'll want this one day.
Thank you. All right, Marcus, next slide. So, resounding what I've heard over and over from everybody. It's been about her smile. It's been about her personality. It's been about fun. I had to pick a few photos, but these are a lot of the funny ones. The funny ones. I don't know who. Ona, is that your room she was painting?
Yes.
Probably Ona's room she was painting. I only know what she's thinking with the giant margarita glass over there. Hey, Eva. Like, you remember like 8 years ago?
I remember
Nope.
that one.
Oh, you do?
So that was for my quinceañera, and I asked her to go with me to Party City, and I was like, I need some stuff to put candy in, and she found that and was like, well, this isn't for candy, but isn't this funny?
Thank you. Always a funny face. Yes. I think you guys have been watching these. They circulate all the afternoon. So we actually had, you go back and you look at 25 years, we had 300,000 photos to go through. Darn digital. We got it down to 1,500 and then finally down to the couple hundred that were out here today. So, all right. Yeah. Oh, go back.
Trying to. Well, just briefly.
All right. For the camera.
Just about how much of a ham my sister was. The picture on the left over here. I mean, I think really kind of captures her and how much of a ham she was. Like when we go and hang out as a family, she was always, doing something. Or what she did of me and my mom, she would do impressions of us, and they were the funniest thing. You said that she should be like a stand-up comedian, and she probably could have been. I mean, she had a really great sense of humor, and she could. The way she could imitate us or like I'd do something and she'd start laughing and she'd show me what I did, and it was much funnier the way she did it than the way I did it. So yeah, she did all sorts of stuff like that. And the picture on the left there actually kind of reminds me, she did a lot of different things. So she did, I mean, she wasn't a huge fan of Jim Carrey, but she actually did some Jim Carrey type things in part of her shtick. But another thing that she was really good at, and it almost kind of looks like that, is she'd do a really great William Shatner impression. And she could do the motions and the mannerisms and just getting out the door or what, I don't know, whatever he says, But she would, I can't do it, but she was really good at that. She did all sorts of, her William Shatner always had us in stitches, and her impressions of all of us. She really could have been a stand-up comic with her level of humor. But I think these pictures really show how. I mean, you can see just a sample of her sense of humor, but she was always goofy. She'd do things that, she'd just out of the blue, she'd just start goofing off. And I think I remember her embarrassing some of her friends sometimes because she'd just start doing something and they'd be like, "You can't do that here. Why are you doing that?" But yeah, I think that really kind of captures it. So.
All right, so then hold on, Marcus. So the next slide, I'm gonna let her have her own words out of here, just kind of capturing her goofy personality. I found this video flipping through stuff, so I'm gonna give the closing remarks to her. Marcus. Oh, go back up, slide. All right, so maybe I actually do need the volume on the TV. I missed the instructions, like usual. All right, Marcus, last slide. So thank you, everyone. Who else wants to come up? Steve, you wanted to say a few words? Anybody else? Come on down. Thank you for coming.
I don't know where she got that behavior from. In junior high school, we were visiting Abuelita and Granddad in Las Vegas. And we were walking through, I think it was one of the department stores. You remember that? And I got ahead of them, and there are all these low platforms where they had, what do you call them? Mannequin. I couldn't think of the word mannequin. And I came to an empty platform. So I got up on it, struck a pose, and didn't move. And she got right up next to me with the family. And I jumped down, and she died of embarrassment. Maríasol is love. She is joy. She is passion. And she's the strongest person I've ever known. She gets that from her mother, her 2 grandmothers, her 4 great-grandmothers, and the 2 great-great-grandmothers that I knew in my lifetime who died when I was young. So it doesn't surprise me, her strength. But everybody knows about her love. When she was in med school, and the doctor told her, if you go through med school and internship and residency, you probably will not be able to have children. So of course, Nathan and Maríasol decided children are more important. So she tried to stay in medical school. And when the baby was born, she asked for a year's leave of absence, and they wouldn't give it to her. So she chose her children over med school, and that was a hard decision, but that's her love. She loved her children before they were born, just like I loved her before she was born. She often told me that I have an obsessive-compulsive personality. She's always right. Part of that was undoubtedly why I was thinking about her before she was born and already planning how to make her life better. So I wanted, and this is something nobody knows, so you're getting the inside scoop here. I wanted her to have an older brother, a big brother, to look after her. So there was an issue in April of 1970 of Look magazine, if any of you are old enough to remember that had all the scientific knowledge up to that point about how you could increase the odds ever so slightly to choose the gender of your children. And that's everything that was in my control, what I did so that she could have a big brother. It was her love that allowed her to outlive what the doctor said was her life expectancy. Did not want to leave her family. Her name. This is something, again, nobody knows, except for me, maybe Adhan. We came up with her name before she was born, so it fascinates me that we chose Alegria for her middle name, which means joy. And you see the pictures if you don't know her personally. She is joy. First name, when her mother and I met, I was an Anglican Catholic and her mother was a Roman Catholic. We were young, full of conviction. So in our 7 years of courtship, we decided we really should be the same religion to have a successful marriage, same education, same ideas. So of course I became a Roman Catholic. In my youth, like most young converts, I was a bit fanatic. So we looked for a name that she would not have to share with anybody. We did the same for Adhan. And when we stumbled across Maríasol, it just sparked in my mind that this truly was the perfect name. So being a young fanatic, I dedicated my daughter to Our Lady of Fatima, Maríasol, Mary of the Sun, the Miracle of Fatima. And I dedicated her to La Señora Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe because of her mother's historical traditional culture. Almost 2,000 years ago, in the good book, was written a description of her love. If I speak in human and angelic tongues, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and comprehend all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have faith so enough to move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away everything I own, and if I hand my body over so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. It is not pompous. It is not inflated. Love is not rude. It does not seek its own interests. It is not quick-tempered. It does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. And that's the kind of love she personified.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Does anybody else want to come down and speak? Come on down.
I have one more thing.
You got one? Of course you do.
If y'all can't tell, I'm the wordy daughter. I was scrolling through, well, first of all, if you knew me when I was a kid, I was not an outdoorsy person. I like to read and I like to stay inside. I mean, I liked being outdoors, but I didn't choose necessarily to do that. And the other day, I was reading through her posts on Carrying Bridge. On one of her updates, it starts off with her saying, I was really proud of my oldest daughter for making it through a hike without complaining. And I was just laughing today as we were going on this hike and everything, because I was like, man, I've come a long way. And I'm sure she'd be happy.
All right, Tanya. I'm going to relocate this a little bit. Maybe it'll be easier to hear in the back. Or you can come to the front.
So many years ago, Nathan and Sol and the girls came to California, Northern California, to have a vacation with us. And I was so lucky and so blessed because I got to take the day off and join them at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And it was about an hour or more drive from our home to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And I thought, what am I signing up for? 4 little girls, Nathan and Sol, all of us in a van together to spend a day. Because normally you would think about that and think, whoa. And you know, when you have vacations, often you only remember the really fun things, and the squabbles or whatnot kind of fade into the background, fade away. But I have to tell you, that was such a special, special day for me, because honestly, there were no squabbles. I mean, Sol and Nathan, just fantastic parents, just really, really a wonderful, special family. And we made it to the aquarium. We actually went to every single exhibit. Everybody read everything that was to be read. Afterwards, we went to a candy store. And I remember the girls got to choose. They got some little amount. Each one could choose a certain amount of candy, and they did. And then we rode home together, and it was just a picture-perfect day. And as we were driving home, I thought to myself, I just felt so honored to be part of that family outing and part of that family. And I thought, this was really something special. And that's what I think about the family. So special. Such a special, loving family. So hard to say goodbye to that mother, but I know we'll just treasure the memory of her forever.
Yeah, thank you. You realize they're only on their best behavior when they have company, right? Let's see. Well, Eva reminded me that I did not tell their whole little birth stories, and I skipped through in the slides. Does anybody else want to come down, or am I going to go in that one story? All right, Marcus, if you go back to the pictures of Ona as a baby.
Give me a second.
Because everybody has their own little stories. All right, can you guys hear me in the back now? Is it a little better? Okay. Keep going. Keep going. One more. All right. So, nope. There. Pause. So every child has been a little bit different. So for Ona, you were the stubborn child. So I'm trying to be polite. We have guests. Oh.
Engineering disaster.
Okay.
Oh, you're saved by the bell.
We're doing better there. We'll pause for a moment. Thank you for the whole entire crowd coming out and all right, apparently you all need to hold on to all those legs now. Everybody is a sandbag now, huh? Yeah, thank you. Okay, I guess I will keep going if you guys can hear me in the back. Good? We're good. Okay, so Onalise a stubborn child. Onalise was the child that was breech, which they do have this really awful procedure, and that's what they say with everything in medicine, where they can try and turn the child around, which just involves a whole bunch of pushing. And Ona pushing back and going the opposite direction. So Ona was her first child. She was a breech child. She's refused to go the right direction, ended up being a C-section. So Marcus, next slide. All right. Oops, where are we? There we go. All right, so on your left, we have Angela there. So Angela's whole story really isn't about Angela. It's about me. So second child. This one wasn't a planned C-section. It was go in whenever Mother Nature says it's time. Well, when it turned out to be time, little did I know I caught cold from somebody at work just before that. So we're down there. She actually has jaundice. We're down there for the hospital like a week. Both of us come back completely sick, barely able to move, in addition to everything else going on. And at that point, this house that you're looking at right here was actually under construction. We're staying with my mother-in-law, who was kind enough to host us during that whole period and have to take care of not one, not two, but three people. So, all right. Isabel, she's hiding back there, and her friends don't want her to know that. Yeah, her friends don't want her to know this. Okay. So, Isa was the one that Saul's like, you know what? This child is not going to come when you want to deliver it. It just is not. And having the arguments with the doctor, like, we really need to deliver this baby on Friday. No, we can't. Rule says you can't do it till Monday. So what does she do? She goes into labor over the weekend. She goes into labor. Her water breaks. We're in the middle of Costco stocking up on frozen food. So, all right. Eva is more of our miracle child. So Eva was the one that didn't move a lot, didn't move around. Doctor's like, dude, something's wrong. We're in there every week for ultrasounds going, we're looking. Dr. Soul have like, just something is not quite right. Well, when she is delivered, we find out that girl had been doing gymnastics inside. She had tied the cord around her head twice. She tied it in a knot. And the doctor's like, oh my gosh, you are so lucky to have made it. So that was our miracle child. So, okay, that's the part I missed when I couldn't keep myself together to going through this. So, anybody else got a story to come on down?
Grandpa.
You got one. Oh. Closest maybe behind you.
Well, my story is going to be very short because I've learned the less you say, the better it is. And I just want to thank Sol, Nathan, and the family. They took this rocky piece of dirt, built a house. And from that house, they built a home. 4 great kids, wonderful grandkids, That's all I got to say.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else want to come down? Yeah.
Yeah, I think my sister's ears are burning, and that's why we had the wind gust there, because she doesn't want to hear us say too much about her. But yeah, one of the things that I thought we were going to go through, because Nathan, I think, was expecting me to say more, but I thought we might go through some of the pictures. But when we were going through them the other day to talk about this, there's this one of her on. I have an recliner set up in my room that I use for everything, and I'd given her, way back when she was in the hospital, I gave her a Nintendo Switch, and then she gifted another one back to me, so I had a Switch too, so I played Zelda. And I had a setup there where I was sitting in my recliner, and I bought this plastic arm that would hold the Nintendo Switch in front of me, because it's a small screen. I didn't have a TV, and that worked best for me, so I could see and that worked out for me in terms of being able to play on it, and that's how I gamed. And one time she was over at our house, and she wanted to play on it too, so she got in my recliner chair. And, I had the thing set up. Like I said, it's on a little plastic arm that sits in front. But she's a lot lighter than me, I guess, because, like, when I sat, it'd be here. And every time she got in the chair, like, she'd swing up against and almost hit it with her face. And I was trying to help her, and she just, like, kept going up against it. And then we was just laughing at it. She was laughing, and I was laughing. And I wish we had the picture of that, because it's a really great picture of her laughing on that chair. And it's just one of the memories with her is just how much fun that we had, laughing all the time, and like other someone else like me, I probably would have been irritated by the fact that this was happening to me, but she just thought it was the funniest thing, and she was just laughing and laughing. So that's just another thing that I thought of, that we, I just enjoyed the laughter with her. So that's
All right. Anybody else? Yeah, come on.
So I met Sol when I was in 6th grade. He started dating her, and I knew she was something special to him when he said, "What's this homecoming prom?" He's like, "I want to make the meal for our date," right? And he learned how to make gazpacho and souffle, and I don't remember what else, but I feel like Amanda and I served you guys that night. You and Winter Ball. There you go. Max was.
Yeah, we were at Winter Ball. I think that was one of those photos back there. I was in wrestling at that time. I had a meet that went, I don't know, till 5 o'clock that evening, and we were trying to squeeze everything in before the dance started, at 7 o'clock at night. But yeah.
This is when I knew she was someone special to him. Fast forward many years, when I knew she'd be a great mom, we were teaching summer school together. So I was her teaching assistant for summer school at the academy. And we were teaching math and science camp for girls, which, if you know Sol, she loves science, she loves women, she loves teaching. And all of our hours and hours with those girls let me know right away she would be a great mother. And probably why she ended up with 4 girls, right? Fast forward, she was pregnant with Isa, and she lived on my couch pregnant for 3 months while she was going back to school in Chicago. During that time, we talked about her hopes and her dreams for her girls, and it's time I'll always cherish. We spent a lot of time together. And so, in closing, I wrote a poem, because that's a little bit more my style. So I'm going to read this to you. This is in loving memory. Wings fluttering, laughter passing, warm sunbeams on a cold winter's day, clouds breaking after a storm, the gentle roar of an ocean, the first steps onto crisp mountain snow, the smell of pine trees in the forest, and rain in the desert. Curious with new experiences, steady in the face of a storm, determined at any challenges, filled with laughter. Strong, joyful, memorable. Out of our sights, but always in our hearts. I love you all.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm Nathan's youngest sister, and I'm already crying, so good luck. I met Soul, I was 8, almost 9. So she's been in my life for almost 30 years, and she has just been much more than a sister-in-law. She's been my sister. She's been a partner in crime. She's been a mom that I can go to for advice and count on. She's loved my girls like they're her own. Her girls have loved my girls like they're her own. We all know how wonderful she is, but I do remember when her and Nathan started dating, how jealous I was that she was going to take away my big brother. And we had this running joke of, he's my Nathan, not your Nathan. He's my Nathan. And she endured it all, and she put up with it all, and I'm so glad that she ended up with my Nathan. He was her Nathan. Kind of lost for a lot of words, but she just meant the world to me, and I know she meant a lot to everybody here, so thanks for being here.
No. Anybody else? Okay. So one of the reasons we're here, one of the love of the outdoors, 2 the picture saw in there. We did this a few months ago. So over behind my shoulders in about an hour, you should see a wonderful sunset. And closing to this. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you.
Dan.
Please enjoy. Please eat all the food. Yes. Welcome to stay here as long. Yeah. Thank you.